All right, here we go. It is Wednesday, day 3 of class, week 3. We only meet once a week, and this is web design, introduction to web design. We talk about HTML and web pages, and we talk about web servers today. And we did a lot of work in class, so that won't be depicted here. This will show what notes we did in class. FYI, if you're interested in cybersecurity, first meeting's today. Okay. If you can't attend today, just let me know. Well, we did a lot of things. We started off, we're talking about the PCs in the room. Okay. And in here, we talked about some specifics like storage, like the hard drive where you store information, memory, what the computer is working on currently. We talked about a browser and notepad, and then the processor that does all of the work. Okay, and then everything moves through there, through the electronic bus. So your monitor, your keyboard, mouse, USB ports, and so forth. Everything connects into that bus and then communicates with these. Okay? And that was used to demo some of the things we talked about in class. Also connected to the bus, there's a port on the back of the computer for Ethernet port that connects to a switch. The switch connects to a multi-layered switch, which connects to a router. And then it connects to fiber to go over to another place on campus, and fiber connections out to the internet. And then, just as an example, here's main campus. It connects into the main campus. So we're separate over here. We'll talk a little more about that in a minute. Then we had Work Server 2. It's sitting up in the front of the room. It's another computer, has all this same items. Okay? We talked a little bit about the Internet of Everything, and we also talked about another server. We looked at the command prompt on the computers. Command prompt. All right. So then, here's what happened in class. We developed web page directories, some directories, and a web page on our computer. We looked at it with a browser. We developed it in Notepad. So we wrote it in Notepad, stored it here. We have our different directories we stored and things in, like we brought in an image from the internet. Okay, if we were to look at that, we brought in an image from the internet. This is what it did. We put it down here somewhere. Okay, so we good? We good? All right. And then we developed a small web page, and then we looked at it with the accidentally moved to the next page. Now, then we use this software, WinSCP, and we opened it up, and we had the right pane was the work server, and the left pane of WinSCP was looking at our computer here. Then we were able to take our web page that we had running on the computer here, and we literally copied it and our images up here. So now the web stuff appears on this page. And then internally we use this address, private address. We had a host name and this password, and we were able to access this and copy our web page from our local computer to a web server that's actually connected to the internet. Okay? And if you were going to access it from the internet, you would use this address instead of this one. That is the public address. That's the public address, and this one was the private address. So you could use this via the internet. And I'll show you that here before we finish up. We're almost done. Okay? So, if you're at home, you can connect to the internet and use that public address to access your server. And we did the address. You give the IP address /tilde and then your last name and your initials, first and last. Alright. A couple other things. We looked at information, HTML markup language. We did some work with folders and directories in class. We talked about path and directories. This would make sense if you were in class. Okay. And we also looked at information from the MDN web docs and used that information in our work in class. That's it for now. If you have questions, let me know.